One of my most favourite nail educators on YouTube, Kirsty Meakin from Naio Nails. I've watched this so many times and I'm now going to try and recreate it in acrylic and Acrygel. So, let's have a go. I've got two nails prepared on my practice hand, and the first one I'm going to do is the acrylic one. So I'm starting off with their Flawless. I find the Naio acrylics really good to work with. I really enjoy using them. I've speeded this up to double time so that I can get both of these designs. Well, it's the same design but two different mediums I'm using. So I've speeded it up to twice the speed so that I can not cut out too many clips and show you the process through. I absolutely loved this design when I first saw it, and I've watched it so many times. So I've waited till I've got enough stuff and I've done some practice using the acrylics and the Acrygel for different designs, but I really wanted to have a go at this, what they call a 3D, but it's a colour block design. Now I've not got the same colours, so I've had to pick from the ones that I'd already got and come up with some that contrasted, but were fairly similar, so that you can see how we go. I'll put the timestamp in the description of when I start using the Acrygel instead of when I start using the Acrygel instead of the acrylic, because the acrylic comes first. So I've tried to keep that line to more or less where I want it. As you can see there, I've not waited long enough for it to set up. It doesn't take too long with the Naio, but I just waited and now I can go in and file it. And I wanted it to mirror the point of the Stiletto. Now I realised afterwards that I've done that nail bed too short. It looks quite unbalanced because it's not long enough. And I'm doing this as voiceover because I'm actually watching and pausing and going back to Kirsty's video all the time I'm doing it. So I thought I can let it run and then I can do a voiceover. So one of their glitter acrylics, Silver Sparkle. It's really, really nice. I've done two coats with the Amelie White gel polish, which is the only one I've got. If I'd got gel paint, that probably would have been good, but I've just got a white gel polish. So I did two coats of that and cured it, and now I'm going in with this Silver Sparkle. That bead's a little bit wet, but it's behaving. So I want to mirror the point of the smile line for this one. So long as I've got that wall that Kirsty keeps talking about, then I'll have something to file to. Now I'm thinking that looks like it's a little bit off to one side. I often have a problem with levelling things. If somebody held a picture up and said, is it level? I might say yes, and then when we stand back it's not. So I seem to remember I put something on it as a guide. What did I do? Oh, I think I used the file just to check that that point was in line with the smile line and the bottom of the tip of the nail as well. I do have certain bits in this where I have to take that finger off or take the nail off the practice hand finger, because it falls off if you're filing too much. But if you notice, these tips that I've got on that actually clip into the hand, I've got the clear ones which I bought separately on Amazon, and they do seem to clip in a lot better than the brown ones that come with it. So for most of the filing I'm able to leave it on, and just now and again I'll take it off. This is the Venus flytrap, and it is a neon green, very vibrant lime colour. So it doesn't matter if I get the green on top of the silver, because I've already filed in that edge and this is butting up to it. Now I can see, looking at that on here, that where the green meets with the silver at the bottom of the point, it goes in slightly. So can you see it against the file? Now see, when this is finished at the end, that the white line that I'm going to paint down here has a little bit of an indent in it, and that's because I didn't bring that green past the silver to do the filing. Now the problem here, and I'm having to file against the nail tip, is because I've got too much green that's that I've not pushed back up against the wall, and I've left it on that. And it won't really matter in that there's going to be more colour going on the top, but it was stopping me butting up against the line I wanted to file. So it's great doing these voiceovers again, because it gives me a chance to have another look and see myself where I've got errors and which bits I could have improved on. So I now go in and decide I want to try and clear some of that off the nail bed. Okay, so that's secure, and then a second coat I'll have put on there. In fact, you can see from the nails I've actually got on myself at the minute that I filmed this a long time ago. Filmed this a few weeks ago. And the nails that I've got on were my first attempt on myself at the smile lines with, now then, what did I use? Acrygel. I think I used Acrygel. This is more of a solid grey colour, but it's got an iridescence to it. a bit runny. What I could have done with that bead is I could have done with putting the back of the brush onto some paper to get a little bit of that monomer out before I placed it on the nail. You see, one of the reasons, if you've not watched, I can't imagine anybody that's watching me wouldn't have already watched her, but Kirsty Meakin is so good, amongst others. There are others YouTubers that I love as well, but while we're on Kirsty's, she's so good at explaining things thoroughly, and she never seems to skip a phase. You know, when she's having to file and she tells you about the structure as she's doing it, and then whether she's having to wipe things off and whether she's curing, and she's just really clear. So she's been a great educator for me to learn from. Can't remember if this next one is the last portion or whether I put more on. I think I might end up with just all green. Yeah. Oh, and this is a beautiful glitter. I've actually used this glitter to do a St. Patrick's Day set, which again is colour blocking. So I'll pop that up. I'll pop that up live when I've got around to editing it. And I'm sorry these don't come out in sequence, but it takes me longer to edit than it does to film them. Oops, out of shot there, sorry. Come back. Oh, that's it. I would have clipped that bit out if I'd have known. I am getting better at picking up the size of bead I want, even though I've not quite got the consistency right, but I'm getting better with that. But I think the grey and the green is gorgeous. I just wish I'd done that nail bed a bit longer. You see now how it looks unbalanced. There's not enough pink. So I'm just tapping it, making sure it sounds like it's all fully dried. Don't forget your extractor fans and a mask when you're filing. And I love this bit. I love revealing the line. So I think I'll go so far and then skip because it's quite a lengthy process. There we go, it's coming. Now I've not encapsulated this hole with the clear because then I wouldn't have been able to file and get that smile line back. So if you do want to encapsulate and you've done the colour block, you need to make sure that the surface of it is revealing what you want to reveal before you put a clear over the top. So I've just moved on to hand file and a buffer, and then I'll probably wipe it down with acetone. That's another trick that Kirsty's shown us. Don't you just love that green? Right, can you see what I mean about the white line? Where the green meets the glitter silver, it goes in slightly. And that's all to do with when I built the wall and did the filing. But at least the white line is there, which I was really pleased about. So if only I'd got that straight, I think this would have been spot on. Lovely hairs off my lint-free cloth. And the cure of that top coat. And then that one's done. Look at that in the UV. Oh, gorgeous. I would have loved to have seen those in the days when I used to go clubbing, but that's a while back. Probably longer years than a lot of you have been alive. Right, I was just having a slurp of coffee then. So now this is the one that I'm going to use the fibre gel for. So I'm just putting a base coat over the whole nail. And this is an Urban Graffiti gel from Naio. And again, I find this a lovely consistency to work with. The things I find most difficult with the fibre gels are the clear ones. They always seem a lot more sticky. And I'm using their gel residue wipe off solution as a slip solution. So I'm trying to get that edge to be quite elevated, so it's a nice thick edge to file to, but get a rough idea of the shape. And I had decided from the first one that I needed to do the snail bed a little bit longer. So in between filing of these though, I have to give it a wipe with the gel residue wipe off solution. Otherwise when I file it, it would stick to that sticky surface on the top. And the thing about doing these colour blocks and doing the smile lines that you want to file into, I've done a tip rather than building on the paper forms, rather than sculpting the nail, because it's giving me something to file to. And if I was wanting to do this and I was sculpting it on forms, then I would have done a layer of clear first to actually make a what's like a tip instead, just so I've got something to file to rather than filing against the paper. So I would have built it hopefully strong enough to then take off the paper foam and build it from there. But I found it was easier on the tips. So back in again with the white, and 2 coats of this against that smile line. second coat. Yeah, I've been wondering about trying to do this with a white fibre gel. Whether it would make it more difficult or easier to get a perfect line. This is a Savaland, this, because I'm a bit restricted on what I've got with the Naio, so this is a Savaland glitter. I've not gone, I'm still here, I'm just watching. I didn't think you'd want me talking like incessantly all the way through. So another wipe off, and then I can file that edge in. Be careful when you're doing it on gels, because it'll file easier than the acrylic, so make sure you've not done too much on one side before you go into the other side. So now I've got to do that little triangle on the left hand side, so again Savaland lilac colour. So you'll have seen me using fibre gel before, no doubt, and I like put it in one place and then squish it a bit and then move it back again. But at least you've got plenty of time to do it. So it's a good job I get the placements better with the acrylic first, because that would take some right filing if I got that wrong. But of course this is not going to set in place until I put it in the lamp, so I've got plenty of time to play. Goodness knows what I've done to that as I put it in the lamp. I'm not bothered about the top of it so long as that wall is right. We're now at the point where that fingernail keeps popping off the hand. More white gel. Two coats. You'll probably see a few sets I do in colour block until I've mastered it. I've got to keep practicing. I don't like having a go at doing some nails without actually putting the camera on now. Otherwise, if I keep missing any out, you won't be able to see if I'm making any progress or not. It would be jumping about, but I've got so many things now I want to use. And I've not actually done an awful lot of nail art with gel polish, and I've got quite a few, so I'm going to have a go at some more with gel polish and foils, I think. I've not even had a go at doing the marble nails yet. If there's any particular technique you want, if you're struggling with it or something and you want me to have a go, I like it when people leave in the tutorials when things haven't gone quite right, because I think you learn from that as much as you do from the experts. Pink Bloom, this is like a bubblegummy pink. That went quite well. Stop faffing. Let me know what you find easiest. Do you find silk wrap or hard gels, you know, builder gel in a pot or builder in a bottle, fibre gel or acrylic? What's your favourite to use? And another glitter from Savillon Glitter Purple. I love this one. Beautiful. The only thing looking at this now is that the line of silver glitter that is at the side of the smile line, I wish I'd done that a little bit of a deeper thing, because I think it almost disappears. So we're down to final filing. Look how chunky that is on the sides. It don't matter, we'll sort it out. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing me use the two different things, the acrylic and the Acrygel, to try and achieve the same design. I'm not quite sure which one I would say was easier. I think you can achieve what you want with any of them, so long as you've got more practice. So well, do you think they're a hit or a miss? If you've got any constructive advice, that's always welcome. Which one do you prefer? Green acrylic, pink Acrygel. If you've stayed this far, thank you so much for getting to the end, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. I love you loads. Take care. Bye.